Hey.
Hey, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Or is it happy Friday or it's Friday?
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dayna Kathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
We're having a hard time, guys.
yeah, this is a continuation of the same, but, we'll try to keep it cute. We talked about most of it on Wednesday, so. Can I do a quick daddy list
Yes.
that I forgot about that kind of makes me feel something?
Yeah, of
I
course.
just love Charlie XCX so much.
Oh, yeah.
And her music video came out, and we're getting great memes because of it. I can't wait for the moment we're going to see that when we get back from our trip.
We have to go see that.
We need to go see it. She's just, first of all, gorgeous, ultimate cool girl, body is tea, unapologetic about her smoking. I just love it. It like comes up to her and she's smoking and drops it and just like, and she walks the way that I walk, just in like, I always with purpose and kind of like anger, but she's doing it in a tea way. And then you go into this warehouse and it's all these like Charlie XCX looking people that are dancing. And someone was like, this is how people had better be dancing at my wedding. And I was like,
Oh,
I don't even want a wedding, but maybe I do for that.
you said you need to make a list on who you want to have a cigarette with.
Yes.
Have you thought about it?
I haven't yet. That's what I was going to bring up. So which one was it from Heated Rivalry that we love?
Oh,
It
Hudson
was
Williams.
Colindo. Hudson Williams. He posted a photo of him smoking a cigarette with Charlie XCX and someone else at the Golden Globes. And he was like, that's a sentence I never thought I'd fucking utter.
Mhm.
And it just made me realize that I haven't been dreaming big enough in my world in so many ways. So I was like, who do I want to smoke a cigarette with this year? So I'm going to work on
Who's
that.
on the cigarette vision board?
I'm going to put a cigarette vision board together and maybe it'll happen. I'm like, I'm always picturing smoking alone or drunk with a friend. And I do love that. But I'm like, wow, who could I be smoking with? Who are the smokers out there? Charlie XCX. I would love to rip a dart with her.
I would love to smoke a cigarette with Sean Penn. Indoors somewhere where it's not allowed.
That's a good one. I would love to smoke a cigarette. And this is just off the cuff, right? I like need to think of a more in-depth list, but I'd love to smoke a cigarette with Goldie Hawn.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be a good one?
Oh, yeah.
She used to smoke. I don't know if she still does. Something tells me she probably still does occasionally.
Well, okay, this is not even if you are a smoker or not. Like if you had the opportunity to smoke a cigarette with somebody, like if it was just you and they were like, hey, they offered you one, who would be the one person that could get you to have a cigarette with them?
See, but my rules about it, I do want them to be smokers. Like I do,
Okay.
I want to know the people
Well, no,
that are
they
smokers.
are smokers. I'm saying for anyone that isn't a smoker that's like, well, I don't smoke, so I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Who is the one person that you would smoke for?
I mean, the guy at 7-Eleven who sold them to me. Like that's, so for me, I get what you're saying, but mine would be like,
I know.
twist my arm.
But it's different for. I'm trying to
Include the group.
make it accessible.
Right. God, who else would be cool? I don't know. There's so many people.
Living
but-
or dead?
Yeah, living or dead. Yeah, dinner party. I don't want to have a dinner party. I want to have a Camel Crush with someone.
Yeah.
So I'll think on it. But I just really loved that. I thought,
Billy Bob Thornton.
he definitely smokes, right? We think he's probably a smoker.
I think so.
Do we think him and Demi Moore are still dating?
Were they? No, he's married.
No, he's dating Demi Moore they worked together on Landman. They started dating.
Billy Bob is married.
Billy Bob.
He's married.
Thornton dating.
This is like some fan fiction that you wrote in your head.
No, okay, this was definitely, oh my God, I just fully believed it. Billy Bob Thornton and Demi Moore are not dating. They're longtime friends and professional colleagues who co-star on the series Landman. Oh my God, recent speculation stems from their close friendship. Yeah, there was something online. Is he married? Okay, Billy Bob, let's see here. Billy Bob Thornton.
So when he was doing press for Landman, he was talking about the show and the cats and like who is most
You're right, he's
like
definitely married.
who is most like their like character in like real life, like who's and he said Ali Larder. So
Love that.
So imagining her being like Angela just made me really happy. I want to take a shot with her.
She would be a great one. I mean, and a cigarette, please. Both
Yeah.
of those. You know what? I've fallen off Landman.
Really?
I just stopped watching. Like the first season, I couldn't get enough of, and this one was just kind of slow for me. But maybe I should try
it was a little bit slower. I mean, the first one was devastating. Like there were so many people that died, but I still really like this season, and I like the way the season ended too. Circle back to it.
Wait, it's already over?
No,
The
the season's done.
Oh, okay.
It's only 10 episodes.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I'm way behind. Okay, I should circle back on it because I have faith, but I think I only watched 2 or 3, and I was like, this is slow. And before
Yeah, no, I mean, there was definitely slower episodes, some good. Yeah, it had a different pacing this season. But I feel like that's kind of how a lot of shows work. And that's why I've fallen off of shows for the same reason. But I'm committed.
That's why I'm really glad to be back on Apple TV. Like, obviously, I guys have your guys' Paramount for that. But do you know what 2 shows I need to come back? The Studio and Our Friends and Neighbors.
Oh, God, yeah.
We loved those so much.
I know. Well,
so need to see them back.
Exactly. I know. I saw that Severance isn't going to be back till next year. And I'm like, good God.
I know. So I have no idea when. So it might be 2027. We're not sure.
Another piece of gossip I saw online, because you know those people that post like the blinds and stuff like that. So Bella Hadid and her boyfriend, who does something in like the
cowboy space,
broke up. And apparently they broke up because she's allegedly having an affair with Tyler Sheridan.
Who's Tyler Sheridan?
The creator of Yellowstone and Landman. Yeah.
Art imitating life.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he gets a lot of shit for people because like people think he's like misogynistic and all that. And he can't write female roles without them being sexualized. I don't know. But like these shows are of a different world and, you know, like.
Yeah. And like also Beth Dutton's really cool. I love when people say that I remind them of her.
No, that's what I mean.
I love
that's
that.
what I mean. It's like if he can't write female roles, explain Beth Dutton because I want to be like her.
Yeah.
I would have a cigarette with her when like she gets in like that brawl out fight and then the place catches on fire and she just steps out on the curb and lights up a cigarette. Daddy.
It's incredible writing. I love that character.
She just like pours a glass of whiskey and knocks it back.
Sounds like me. Here's the thing. I think that it's kind of a bummer. I thought they were going to get married. Like they seemed like endgame, her and her cowboy, because she's such a horse girl. And also, I think we need to be more honest about horse girls and the fact that they're all freaky. If you're a horse girl, you're into some shit. There's some correlation between that and like
even if you're a hobby
stuff.
Horse girl,
yeah,
freaky,
absolutely.
You like a stick between your legs.
So I mean, I can't believe you brought up hobby horsing. It's so triggering for you.
It is triggering.
But yeah, I was surprised by that. I was surprised to hear. So something big must have happened because they seem to have been real happy. And she's obviously a super famous person, but I feel like has been a little more trying to have her life with
just
him
doing
on
her
some
own thing.
plot of land somewhere, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but when she came back to the Victoria's Secret fashion show, I was like, okay. So she's dabbling or she's making, a return. We'll see. TBD.
Interesting. I wonder if the affair is a real thing or not.
I don't know. He's married.
Tyler Sheridan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well, and I'm assuming if he's the creator of these huge shows, he's probably older than her.
Yeah.
She's young. She's like, what, 28 or something?
Yeah.
Let me look up to see if I recognize what he looks like. Tyler Sheridan.
He's popped up in Yellowstone. And when she was in an episode of Yellowstone, he was in it as well with her.
With who?
With Bella Hadid.
She was in Yellowstone?
Yeah. Did you watch Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I could see that connection. Okay, I totally recognize him. So it must be a show. Yeah, I recognize him, but to each their own, I suppose.
You.
Yeah, he's 55. Tyler Sheridan.
I don't know.
Let's see here.
I'm not trying to spread rumors here, but I was just reporting the news.
It's interesting how people with blinds, when it's so unfounded, are comfortable doing that just in terms of getting sued. Like, I feel like just saying allegedly isn't probably enough anymore to when you're saying something that's so out that anyone could have made up and written in.
It's true. But usually, but
where there's
the reason why they're blind items is because they're coming from, I wouldn't say, I don't know what the percentage of what ends up being accurate or true, but it's shocking.
Well, when there is a big story that ends up coming out and it usually ends up, it had started as a blind when people are talking about it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give merit to blind items until they are proven, but like history has shown that they have, ultimately ended up being true. So makes you go, Well,
how about we give you some true stories that we know are true because
you wrote them in.
You wrote them in.
These are your stories.
To disrespectfullypod@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do some hometown heroes.
Okay.
Phoebe says, aloha, Katie and Dana.
Aloha.
Wanted to chime in on the rabies topic. I grew up in a South Texas border town, Puro Pinche, 956, wink face with a tongue out. And remember a time when my neighborhood friends got hit by a raccoon and had to get the rabies shot. I didn't know a lot of the details because I was little, but I remember it was not good. I have another hometown friend who had a bad past experience with dogs because of rabies. We also have a lot of possums, but they look cute when the mama is carrying all of their babies.
Oh, yeah.
Another pesty issue in South Texas is the mosquitoes, which leads to heartworms in dogs and cats. I wish it would be a requirement in that area for pets to be on heartworm medication. In Austin, Texas, one of the biggest tourist attraction is seeing the bats fly all over Congress Avenue Bridge every sunset. Dana, you would love it. We now live in Hawaii where there are no rabies, but did you know that? I didn't know that there's no rabies in Hawaii.
No.
I'm thrilled to hear that.
That's good news for Hawaii.
I bet I'd love to hang out there then.
That's great marketing.
That sounds, well, that should be more of a known thing.
Yeah.
But such a pain and such a process when moving to Hawaii with your pet because Hawaii is very strict with keeping it rabies free. I was culture shocked when I called my dog's vet to schedule an annual exam and vaccinations, and they told me no need for the rabies vaccine. So there are no rabies in Hawaii, but there are some gnarly critters here like centipedes. I've attached a video of a centipede killing a rat in Hawaii. Hope you enjoy.
What?
Yeah, yuck.
Centipedes are so gross.
They're so gross. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, and F ICE and all the other losers in the administration. Disrespectfully, Phoebe. Okay, so the thing is, I wish that you had more details when you said they were hit by a raccoon. Like what? They were like someone tossed a raccoon at you when you were bicycling by? Like
yeah,
how did that?
do you get hit?
How do you get hit? But yeah, I just thought that was so interesting. Had no idea, but it makes sense. And it makes sense why they have such strict, because I think I had heard that thing about a pet. Like I don't quote me. I think it's an amount of months they have to be in a quarantine situation when you move with an animal.
Interesting.
So I guess I know, which is so sad. Like, can't imagine, but no rabies there.
Oh, okay. Well, love that.
I still have those 2 little dots on my arm. I probably have limited time here. So knock on wood there, Mom.
You've heard us talk about Hungry Root before because honestly, it's fully simplified my life.
Same. It's one of those things where you don't realize how much mental energy grocery shopping takes until someone else just, I don't know, does it for you.
Hungry Root plans all my groceries for the week, fills my cart, and delivers everything I need to eat healthier based on my goals, preferences, and budget. It's not a meal kit, it's actual groceries.
And the variety is wild. They have over 1,000 grocery items, smoothies, snacks, salad kits, ready-to-eat meals, even sweets, so it doesn't feel restrictive or boring.
They also hold everything to really high standards, no weird additives, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners, and they carry brands I already buy like Oatly, Vital Farms, Ithaca Hummus, which makes me feel less like diet food and more like real life.
It's especially great if you're trying to actually stick with healthier eating past January. Like most resolutions don't survive till February, but Hungry Root is so easy that you don't have to overthink it.
You're going to love Hungry Root as much as I do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/disrespectfully and use code disrespectfully. That's hungryroot.com/disrespectfully. Code disrespectfully to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life.
Starting something new isn't just hard, it's terrifying. So much work goes into this thing that you're not entirely sure will work out, and it can be hard to make that leap of faith. Trust us, we know.
When we started this podcast, we weren't even sure what we were doing. What if no one listens? What if we make fools of ourselves? What if someone from the basement comes back to haunt us? Now we know we were right in believing in ourselves and our ability to banish unpleasant people and things. It also helps when you have a partner like Shopify on your side to help.
Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started.
Get started with your own design studio. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style.
Accelerate your efficiency, whether you're uploading new products or trying to improve existing ones. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography.
Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling.
And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-in-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. And if you get stuck, Shopify's always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer support.
It's time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/disrespectfully.
Go to shopify.com/disrespectfully. That's shopify.com/disrespectfully.
Okay. Emily says, Dear Dana and Katie, first of all, love you both in the pod. VPR is my comfort show, and I admittedly have it on the background all the time. Katie, I'm going to miss seeing you, but I'm glad you no longer need to be around people that aren't serving you. Well, stay tuned. Anyway, here's my Coven core for you. It's a long read, but I couldn't shorten it. I grew up with 2 older half-sisters that are both 20 plus years older than me, so I was basically raised as an only child. Let me tell you, I was probably the loneliest only child there was. I yearned for a sibling and was actually embarrassed that I didn't have one. My imaginary friends when I was little weren't animals or mythical creatures. They were the sisters I wish I had. Oh my God. I also grew up in the 90s, so Lindsay Lohan's Parent Trap and It Takes Two were my favorite movies. I was obsessed with the idea of having a twin to the point where I saved up my birthday and holiday money and bought a My Twin doll. If you aren't familiar, think American Girl doll, but made to look like you. When American Girl rolled out that option where you could like build your own doll kind of, I got one. And her name was Sophia. And I brought her everywhere with me.
Of course
you did. We had matching jackets.
Of course
I didn't have a sister. I had brothers, but I didn't have a sister. So I understand it to a degree of like wishing you had like a sister.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yes, it's as horrifying as it sounds. And yes, my boomer mother keeps it in a rocking chair to haunt my childhood bedroom. Fast forward to my present life. I welcomed a daughter in the spring of 2023 and was desperate to give her a sibling so that she had that connection I had always wanted. After months of therapy to determine if we were going to try for another, we got pregnant, but unfortunately had a devastating miscarriage. I was raised Jewish, but would consider myself agnostic. It took us months after our loss to get pregnant, and I prayed every night for a baby. More quietly, I would wonder, why not this month? Why us? Why isn't this happening? When we got pregnant again, I was excited but terrified for the first scan. I literally held my breath until the technician found a heartbeat, and then she found another one. We welcomed our twin girls in November. Baby B, the second twin, is named Eliana, which translates to God's answer in Hebrew. I feel like somehow these babies have always been with me and a part of my life. Anyway, love you both. Thanks for reading. I'll be over here raising 3 new Coven members ready to dismantle the patriarchy. Much love, Emily. I just thought that was the sweetest thing ever, and I'm so happy for you and your girls.
We're so happy, for you and that they have each other because you were.
I love that
you were such a lonely child.
You grew
makes
up
me so sad.
wanting sisters and wanting a twin, and now you have 3 like girls, and you're like, yeah, I think that's just amazing.
Also, Eliana is a beautiful name,
Oh
and
my God.
I love the meaning behind it. Also, I think it was a really core fundamental moment for all of us in terms of It Takes Two and Parent Trap. Like twins definitely had a thing in the night. Like we all wanted that.
Yeah.
Like couldn't get enough of it.
Well, that whole thing of like, oh, you and your twin could like trade places and trick people. I was like, that is the coolest flex ever.
Yeah, I want to do that. Like what?
Same.
Especially if my twin could be Lindsay Lohan. Sweet. B says, hello from the currently frozen tundra in Dallas, Texas right now. Listening to your amazing women is the highlight of my week. So much so that I love this. So much so that my 4-year-old daughter often says, is that Katie or Dana? Whenever she hears women's voices in my car.
Oh.
You have fans of all ages, it seems. That sincerely warmed my heart. Anyway, after I just finished listening to your most recent WWDD episode where a mother was asking about how to help her queer children have relationships with bigoted family members, and as a gay woman living in a red state, married to my wife, and us having 2 beautiful children together, I felt a pull to reach out to other parents in this situation. I know it's usually your jobs to offer advice, but I want to add in something from my experience, hoping to reach more parents who may need to hear it. My wife and I are lucky that our parents never alienated us from who we are, embraced our relationship when we announced it almost 14 years ago, gave us away at our wedding, and dote on our kids like crazy. However, being queer in an unforgiving society is hard. I often find myself being the shoulder my friends lean on when they encounter bigotry in their homes, places of work, or in the wild, and I offer the same advice. And to be fair, I heard it from our queen, Michelle Obama, first. Come home. We like you here.
Mm.
My home and my heart will always be open to anyone who needs genuine and supportive love. I hope all other parents who are searching for the right words can hear this message behind what Michelle's parents told her. I tell my kids that all the time. When the world is cold, mean, hateful, or hard, come home. We like you here.
I had chills.
No, I literally.
Oh.
That one got me. Sending love and hugs to every person out there trying to survive in this hellscape. Yours truly, and with my entire chest, fuck ice. B from Texas.
Oh, thank you so much for writing that in. Oh.
Yeah, I just thought that was incredible. And also, like, I love that messaging so much. Like, what a great way. It's simple, but really profound, really beautiful.
It does. No, I mean, it is so simple, but powerful. I love it. Oh,
I'm leaking.
do you need a...
I'm going to grab a tissue real quick.
Sarah says, hello to my favorite girls. I've written in before, and your WWDD response was really profound and beyond helpful. Thank you and love you forever. I'm writing in from the frozen hellscape. We should laugh,
Everyone's like, we're in fucking hell, are
you
you?
guys are all frozen, and I feel so bad. I feel so, like, I just want to say that, like, for everyone that's experienced these extreme weathers, like, I am so sorry. Like,
It dropped to like 69 here last night, and
if
I
you
put a
can
jacket.
come to LA, it's like 80 degrees.
So obviously we can't. We're so lucky, but I'm sorry if you're going through any severe weather situation right now.
It's not funny. Sorry, we laugh when things are uncomfortable. I'm writing from the frozen hellscape that is Syracuse, New York, and I'm here to tell you about our bat problem after listening to your recent episode. Certain areas of Syracuse are known for having issues with bats in people's homes, so I thought I could speak to this spooky, scary topic. I previously lived in a third-floor, one-bedroom flat for 3 years. There were holes in the crawl spaces and overall lots of structural defects, so I had many encounters with wildlife in my home. It's kind of like a Disney princess.
My butthole's tightening. I'm already scared.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because it was otherwise the most wonderful post-divorce apartment of my dreams. I woke up around 3 a.m. to find my cat playing with a bat on the kitchen floor. This would be you, Dana. Thank God he was up to date on his rabies vaccine. I somehow got the bat outside with an old magazine under the Tupperware trick. Scary shit. Another time I was reorganizing storage totes in the crawl space and unfortunately scooched a tote over a bat, which then let out a horrifying screech, followed up by a guttural screech from me. I fear my neighbors probably thought I was being killed. Thinking back to summer in Syracuse and wishing it was summer, it's not uncommon to see bats flying around at dusk. It's like the birds go to sleep and the bats come out. Most of us respect the bats because they gobble up the mosquitoes, which is amazing for us. When I was an intern at a wildlife rehab center, you could not go anywhere near rabies vector species without being vaccinated. I was a poor college student, and the vaccine was not an option at the time. So I never got the care for bats, raccoons, skunks, or foxes. They take that shit really seriously, as they should. I think when we're done,
I have to be scared of foxes too. Fuck.
I feel like when we're done fighting fascism, we should really create the agenda for the push for the rabies vaccine.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing it's a problem.
I mean, clearly.
And we're not just talking about the fun race for the cure. We're
that's
talking
what my head
like
went. That's what I was smiling.
But maybe. And maybe Olive Garden could sponsor it and serve
fettuccine Alfredo. Got a carb load.
Carb load. Sorry. My last rabies-related tidbit comes from my very first day on the job at an animal hospital. They warned us all that they were taking a sample from a deceased dog for rabies testing, and we could choose not to watch, with it being our first day and all. I wasn't sure what that meant exactly, but it turns out that in order to test for rabies, the head of the animal has to be removed and sent to a lab for testing of the brain tissue. I was truly scarred for life. They didn't let you know what that meant? That feels cruel and unusual. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble on about rabies of all things. Okay, love you, bye. P.S. Thank you for using your platform to stand up for what's right. Fuck eyes. XOXO, Sarah.
Now I have to fear foxes.
I love that rabies is now Coven core.
I know. Here's the other thing about it, though, that I think I want to make sure is clear. I think bats are so cute.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, is that I fear you, but I also could kiss you on the mouth if I thought it was safe.
I fear you, but I want to kiss.
And Laszlo, my cats, I have bat-looking cats. Like, I think that animal, it's so my aesthetic, too. Like, I hate that I have to fear you, but you're so scary to me because of your little vector of disease. But
speaking of bats, but also vampires, the guy that plays the vampire at Universal Studios, like, I would
smash.
Yeah.
Hit it. I haven't seen this person.
I'm gonna have to pull up a video. Anyways.
Okay, find me one, but I'd rather have you fucking a vampire than a fire truck, so we're moving in the right direction.
Okay.
Lauren says, howdy, howdy, howdy. Huge Vanderpump Rules and Disrespectfully fan here. You're my second ever hyperfixation podcast since MFM, so the Georgia crossover episode was so entertaining and full circle. In that vein, I want to share with you an experience I had as a 19-year-old living in Appalachia, attending college and incidentally reporting on murders. All right, imagine this. The year is 2007. It's summertime in the Appalachian Mountains. I'm a junior undergraduate student living in the dining room of a 4-bedroom house with my best friends, and my primary focuses are throwing great theme parties and quoting Superbad. As a recent transfer into the communication department at Virginia Tech, I'm totally clueless and looking for ways to boost my resume, so I volunteer as a staff reporter for the local newspaper. My second assignment ever was to attend the trial of William Morova, a Blacksburg local who, while waiting for trial for armed robbery, escaped police custody by shooting and killing a security guard, then taking off into the Appalachia wilderness. Fortunately, despite being a self-described survivalist, he didn't venture very far. After a manhunt that shut down the entire campus, he was discovered in a briar patch off of the Huckleberry Trail.
That sentence is giving like Mark Twain.
It sounds made up. I was like, is this fiction or
briar
nonfiction?
patch off of Huckleberry Trail. All right.
Yeah.
Carry on. What's a briar patch?
Say what?
What the fuck is a briar patch?
I think it's thorn bushes.
Okay.
Of some kind. When he was found, though, he shot and killed another officer before being apprehended. His escape, the manhunt, and murders all happened in 2006, less than 8 months before the Virginia Tech massacre, where a gunman killed 32 Virginia Tech students and professors. As you can imagine, attending the trial of a murderer only 3 months after experiencing a major school shooting was probably not the best idea for my underdeveloped frontal cortex. The PTSD is real. Yes, I have a great therapist and a high-dose daily SSRI. I hardly remember the trial, but what will never leave my mind were Morova's eyes. He was absolutely crazed and unwell. The discomfort and tension in the tiny small-town courtroom was palpable. I think back to it and like, damn, a known murderer and well-documented escape artist was sitting 20 feet from me. I was in danger.
You in danger, girl.
You in danger, girl. But honestly, I was probably just thinking about who was pinging me on my BlackBerry and what type of jungle juice we would throw together tonight. Morova ended up being executed by the Commonwealth of Virginia for his crimes in 2017, despite calls from mental health advocacy groups, the president of the American Bar Association, his birth country, Hungary, and the daughter of one of his victims pleading for his clemency. I've lived a billion lives since then, and among them has been becoming an advocate for gun violence prevention and gun reform. I have a nonprofit called It's the Guns. We focus on targeting legislation, sharing strategies to prevent gun violence, and exposing the gun lobby.
Hell yeah.
I'm the mom of a 3- and 5-year-old, and there's nothing more important to me than keeping them and every American safe. Thank you for what you guys do with your platform. You're not only impacting your audience, you're also modeling the right way to be influential women. A lot of people need to take notes. In Disrespectfully We Trust, Lauren.
I love it.
How cool is that?
You're cool.
That
Lauren.
Lauren, you're cool. That's awesome that you have that nonprofit. I too am someone who's lived so many lifetimes. When I was a starting out reporter in Washington, have I told the story in here when I went to a murderer's house to ask him for a comment?
No.
This is crazy because they pay you no money. I was a 21-year-old, literally 21, by myself with a 40-pound camera, and you go and you're a field reporter, so you have to shoot it all yourself. You have to write the stories. You come in at 5 a.m, pitch to your news director, and then you have to go out and get sound bites.
Oh, wow.
So there was an ongoing story about a guy who I can't remember. I think he was like convicted and acquitted of killing his wife. There was a very suspicious house fire the night he was gone with the children. It was weird. But my news director had me go to his house and knock on his door and ask for a comment. And he basically threatened me and insinuated that if he wanted to do it, I would be disappeared and no one would ever find. Like he said like a very weird thing to me like that. And he had harassed other reporters too. So yeah, looking back on that, I'm like, in terms of Darwin, I should not, and how Dateline I am, I shouldn't have been going to random murderers' houses and asking them
oh my God,
had any comments on the charges. So anyway, don't do that.
Okay, well, Anonymous says, Dear Dana and Katie, please keep me anonymous. You two truly have my heart. You always have, but especially now for continuing to take the time to elevate voices when the world seems so scary. You don't have to share the information that you do, as many other creators of your status tend to shy away from the controversy, and I commend you for this. With that said, I will admit that I would like to speak out, but I'm scared to under my name, since I live in a state bordering Minnesota where upticks in ICE presence are beginning to happen, as well as have dearly beloved friends living in Minneapolis. I would love to share a poem that I've written because I want people to know that they are not alone. Thank you a million times if you read this. It says, my heart is truly breaking from all the innocent lives people claiming to fight for my country keep on taking. I wake up every day thinking of so many loved ones, both near and far away. Not even just friends and family, but their families too. Honestly, I'm terrified to see a face I recognize on the news. Places so close to me that were once filled with beautiful memories are now essentially active war zones. Eyes go the fuck home. In a time where empathy is being considered weakness, my heart can't handle this ever-present bleakness. Staying positive seems like an empty thought, a luxury for those of us just trying to live. All we have now is each other. Truly all together, we do have strength in numbers. There's more of us than there are of them. As dire as it is, we must revolutionize again. If you are feeling all alone, know that I am a safe place to call home. This time to keep quiet has long since passed. It's time to raise our voices, raise them up, raise them fast. Enough is enough. I love that.
I love that too.
Thank you for sharing that.
I mean, we say it all the time, but just this community rocks.
Yeah. Really, really grateful for all of you.
Really keeping us going right now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for writing those in. Great. I mean, and also the way that we share brain cell and keep picking similar themes. But
it's always, yeah.
We're all on the same page. Well, should we round out this week by solving some problems?
Whatever problems we can solve, since we can't solve the big ones, let's solve these ones. Well, the Coven problems.
The Coven problems, like a Rubik's Cube. You'll never catch me doing that.
No.
Let's do a little WWDD.
Okay.
Jasmine says, "Hello, ladies. Just asking for some advice. Thank you for taking time to read my email. I am currently feeling really lost lately. I'm turning 40 this year, and I do not know what is next for me. When I was 19, I got an amazing job opportunity and started working for a company that was building a lot of famous attractions for famous amusement parks in California, Florida, Paris, and even Shanghai. That was my job for the past 15 years. If you know, you know, LOL, NDAs. That Disney?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be Disney. They would. I would assume they would already have been built more than.
I mean, they're adding stuff all the time.
Okay.
If you think about it.
When COVID hit, I lost my job. I ended up getting into the cannabis industry, but everyone I worked for was horrible, so I decided to leave. I feel like I accomplished so much at such a young age, and now every job feels so mediocre. Any advice on how to find my passion again or to figure out what is next? Thank you for reading." I think, first of all, 40 is just so young. 30 is young. 20 is young. We talk about this all the time. I know we talk about like comparison is the thief of joy, and when we're looking at external forces, but then I also want you to apply that to yourself. So that's awesome that you found something you loved young. You got to do a cool job. You know what's out there. You know what's possible. So why not assume that the next big thing that you're interested in is possible again and going to be even better? Like, don't let that be, a little thing on your shoulder lying to you saying like, oh, well, you've already done the big thing. So that was it. And now you just have to do whatever. I'm not you, so I can't decide, what your passion is or necessarily find it. I think that it's all about just continuing to discover what we like in our day to day. And like, even when let's talk about like a product or a company, when someone invents something, I feel like when it's successful, it comes from them problem solving for something that is just in their day to day life. So really just trying to focus on what you like and talk to people that have jobs that they like and see if it's something that you could be interested in doing. I think it's just all about networking and doing a little self-exploration.
Yeah, I don't think it's like looking at like a failure, and I don't think you are looking at yourself like that, but I think in life we have peaks and valleys and ebbs and flows, and when you are on like this downswing of things, it's frustrating because you're like, wow, I like had it all and I was really great and I was really happy, but then I wasn't, and now what would I do? When will I be happy again? Will I be happy again? But I think it's just, I know this sounds hard to say, but trusting the process more than anything, because I've definitely felt that way. And especially more recently too. I am your age, so I can relate. But when you're sort of like, wow, like, what am I going to do? What is next? It can feel scary and it can feel overwhelming. But in those times, I just have to trust the process of life, the universe, whatever, that the opportunity is going to present itself at the right time. But in the meantime, I'm not like, it's not that I'm not proactive in my life and I'm not an active participant in what's going on, but just trusting and not trying to be impatient with things or trying to force things or I think it's just being patient with yourself and looking inward and taking inventory of the things you do have, look for the W's and I think just being intentional about your days and who you spend your time with and how, like, surround yourself with people that you admire and look up to and who are productive or successful. I think that is a great way to like have things rub off on you via osmosis. So
I also think it sounds corny, but I always say taking the next step when you can't see the staircase is usually where the magic happens. Yeah. I know it's okay. I'm a realist and I am someone who has a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, like very controlling, but definitely when I've let go, I have found the greatest, most unexpected joys. So it's about being realistic about, okay, it feels scary, but embrace that.
Mm-hmm. Listeners, think back to a first date where you were really interested in someone. You probably asked some important questions like, what are you looking for? Or what are your deal breakers? So you could get a better idea of whether or not this was the right person for you.
Well, the same goes if you're hiring. You definitely want to address key questions first to see if someone could be right for your role. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. When you post your job, ZipRecruiter suggests screening questions to help you hone in on top candidates faster. And today you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/disrespect.
ZipRecruiter's matching technology immediately finds qualified candidates that check all your boxes, and ZipRecruiter recommends screening questions so you can easily add to get the highest quality applicants. Want to see who's recently active? ZipRecruiter's filters can show you, which is T.
Ask key questions and hire faster with ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/disrespect. That's ziprecruiter.com/disrespect. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
I didn't realize how much my sleep environment mattered until I upgraded my bedding. Like, I already loved my Boll & Branch signature sheets, but adding their waffle bed blanket genuinely changed everything.
It's one of those things where you don't expect to feel the difference, and then the first night you're like, oh, this is what people are talking about when they say good bedding.
The signature sheets are insanely soft, and somehow they just get softer every time you wash them. And the waffle bed blanket has this springy, near weightless warmth that makes your bed feel cozy without feeling heavy.
Together, they're just the perfect combo. Super breathable, really comfortable, and you can layer them without overheating, which is key.
You can also feel the quality immediately. Boll & Branch uses 100% organic cotton, woven by artisans, and everything feels really thoughtfully made. It's the kind of bedding where once you switch, you truly won't go back.
And they're designed to mix and match, which I love. There are over 300 color combos, so it's easy to make your bed feel intentional and pulled together.
Plus, they're made to last season after season, and you can try them with a 30-night worry-free guarantee.
Discover a softness beyond your wildest dreams with Boll & Branch. Get 15% off your first order plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com/disrespectfully with code disrespectfully.
That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/disrespectfully, code disrespectfully to unlock 15% off. Exclusions apply. It's 2026, and if you're still paying rent without Built, it's time for a change. Built is a loyalty program for renters that rewards you for your biggest monthly expense, rent. With Built, every rent payment earns you points that can be used towards flights, hotels, Lyft rides, Amazon purchases, and so much more.
And here's something I'm really excited about. Now, Built members can earn points on mortgage payments for the first time. That means you can get rewarded wherever you live and unlock exclusive benefits from more than 45,000 restaurants, fitness studios, pharmacies, and other neighborhood partners. Personally, I'd redeem my points for a berries class. I've always wanted to be cool like that.
Oh, me too. And it's simple. Paying rent is better with Built. And soon, owning a home will be better with Built. Earn rewards and get something back wherever you live.
Join the loyalty program for renters at joinbuilt.com/disrespectfully. That's joinbilt.com/disrespectfully. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you.
Anonymous says, trigger warning ED. Hi, Katie and Dana, longtime listener and fan. You two are so amazing and bring so much levity during these, trying times. Your stances and sense of moral standing are only a fraction of the reason why you guys are my faves on VPR and just in general, hee any hoodly hoo. I have a small friend group that formed almost 10 years ago. A few of us were friends since childhood and a couple others we met while working together many summers ago. Safe to say, we're friends and sisters to this day. One of my friends in the group has an ED. I'm not one to judge, but my friend has lost a drastic amount of weight in just a year. She has always struggled with self-image and confidence, and her weight was part of that. She thinks that something is wrong with her because she's single, very much centers men, sigh. Myself and one of our friends did some research on how to speak with loved ones experiencing EDs/anorexia, and we learned that not blatantly addressing how she looks is the right way to go. I have also asked other friends who have had EDs in the past about what they would have wanted/felt comfortable hearing if a loved one talked to them. A few months ago, my friend and I hung out with her and gently addressed that we could tell she hasn't been herself. And we may not know how she's feeling exactly, but we do know how bad it feels to, feel bad. and we're here for her, etc. She opened up a bit and shared about some of her feelings and thoughts and that she was open to us helping her find a therapist. She's not in therapy. However, she's still small. At this point, her self-esteem has affected her physically in a way that has alarmed not just myself, but the rest of our friend group. Her bones are visible, her face and figure is gaunt. The weight loss that has happened is too extreme at this point to not say anything. All this to say, I don't think it's a point where we can beat around the bush, so to speak. Her physicality is at a point where I worry that hospitalization could be near. My parents have also seen her and share the same worries. Again, this is coming from a place of love, and I'm not judging her. I hurt knowing how bad she must be hurting too. My friends and I recently texted each other that enough is enough and something has to be done. But we've never dealt with anything like this, and we all seem to struggle a bit with assertiveness. Question is, how the hell can we/I address our valid concerns for her health and well-being? We love her so much. She's been a wonderful person in my life, and I feel sick thinking about her falling deeply ill or passing away as a result of her current health status. WWDD, love you, Anonymous. First of all, I don't think I would never guess that you were being judgmental at all. And I think you've been in a place that many people have been. And I think you've taken the time and the care and the caution to research how to talk to somebody, to talk to other people with experience on like how to approach this with somebody. And it seemed that when you did initially approach her, she was open and receptive to what you said. So I think that was a good sort of starting point with this. But considering she's still not in therapy or it's not, working, that maybe you do have to just come out and say it. I've never had to deal with that, so I understand how sensitive it can be. But I think you do it in a way that's not accusatory. It's not like an intervention type thing, but I think you do have to come out and say the words.
Yeah, I think that this, in general, you've done all the right things.
Mhm.
You've done a great job looking for resources, particularly in speaking to other people who've had EDs about how maybe they would have wanted to be addressed and whatnot. I'm wondering if there's any type of group for like resources you can look at or something you can go to speak to other people who are family members of people who've had eating disorders. You talked about your parents. I'm wondering if she has parents, if she's in contact with them, if she has any other family members, because at this point, I think roping in her immediate family is probably important. I'm sure they're already concerned, but then if they also maybe know there's strength in numbers as far as a support network. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, we aren't qualified to make a judgment as far as what a doctor would advise. If you have a therapist, I would ask a therapist. I would talk to someone who's trained to make that judgment as far as what they should do. What I can speak to, because I do think that an eating disorder is, in the same realm as self-harm. And I self-harmed for about 13 years. And my friends in college once confronted me about it, and I wasn't ready to hear it, and they weren't trying to be attacking or anything, and it didn't go well just because of the place that I was in mentally, but now can very clearly see what, they were concerned and they had reasons to be concerned. And I think that self-harm and disordered eating, in terms of like, it stems from a similar place of control and not liking yourself and feeling like you need some sort of relief, and this is how you can do it.
Yeah.
So I can only speak to it as someone who's dealt with something in the same zip code as being the person who had it. So I think that definitely making sure that you don't come at them with language that feels attacking, and they just know how loved and supported and how much better their life can be and how much you want to help them in that journey. But talk to people who are qualified to make those.
Because if the messaging is that you love them and you are worried and you want them to be around, you need them in your life for always. Like, I think that's sort of the messaging, rather than focusing on the physical aspects, because that will just potentially maybe trigger them.
Yeah. Also just want to say this is a really tricky one.
Yeah, it is.
So pulling in people who are qualified to help would be, I think, my biggest takeaway. Yeah. Anonymous says, "Hey, Katie and Dana, longtime listener, and I love tuning in every week. I have a dilemma that I feel you two lovely ladies would have some great insight. I have this friend, let's call her Janice. Now, Janice and I have been friends since childhood, and recently I've noticed we've grown into our 20s. She has developed a bit of a habit where every time we go out, she gets obliterated, blacking out, and it's concerning for me. We always make sure she's safe and get home responsibly, but at first I chalked it up to being young and in your 20s. We all have those moments, but I'm starting to think it's becoming a scary habit. For some context, my girlfriends and I met at my apartment once a week just to have girly time, sometimes drink, cook, gossip, you get the gist. But last week, she was the first one to arrive, and I could immediately tell that she was wasted. Worst part is, she drove herself to my place. I was concerned, but didn't know how to go about this in the way that didn't feel accusatory. I knew in that moment I would have made her upset if I had called it out, but now that we've had a couple days to ruminate, I seriously want to chat to her about it. My internal struggle is, how do I even go about doing that? I'm not always good with my words and can come across as too blunt at times. What would disrespectfully do? So I actually think this is kind of similar to the last one we were talking about in terms of there are a lot of resources out there that I think could be helpful. Al-Anon is a group for families and friends of people who struggle with addiction. So that might be a good place to start just from a resource perspective. I think that you absolutely did the right thing in not talking to her about this when she's in that state.
Yeah.
When someone is altered, it's not going to go well. They're either not going to remember the conversation. It's going to be combative. It's not the right time and the place. Finding someone who is struggling with an addiction when they're sober to have these conversations is definitely always step one. I think, again, just coming from a place of not being like, hey, fuck you, you seem drunk and you drove. And don't start with that. Say, this is what I've been noticing. I'm concerned for you. We want to check in and make sure you're okay. Doing all of those things, starting with that, and then being able to pull examples, I think is important for sometimes people to be able to understand their own behavior when maybe they can't. But yeah, I also think it definitely, especially for younger people in their 20s, people will be like, oh, we're just partiers. But there's a difference. And I also think a lot of people toe that line. But when someone's clearly, like you said, like just going over to someone's place and you guys are supposed to just have a hang and they're clearly intoxicated from the time they even get there is concerning.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing I was going to say is don't bring it up when you notice that they are in an altered state because it will not go well. I think typically when they continue, because when you're young and in your 20s and everyone's partying and that's the culture of like how you spend your time. But yeah, as you get a little bit older, it becomes a little more obvious the people that are still keeping up with those things. And typically, in my experience, it's been people who are trying to mask or not deal with something else going on in their life. They're using it as a crutch, as an escape, as a mask, as something. So I think rather than having a conversation and focusing on them being too drunk and then driving and scolding them and acting like their mother, because that's what it's going to sound like regardless, ask them, try to talk to them about what's going on in their life. I know you're not a therapist, but you are a friend and friends do talk to each other, but just try to maybe find out if there's a bigger thing going on that they're struggling with and see if they can open up about that. And if they ask why, say, well, I just feel that you tend to drink more than the rest of us. And just try to point to facts of typically that type of behavior is aligned with maybe depression, maybe there's something else going on in your life. So that way you're not making them feel embarrassed. If that makes sense. But
totally. And I think, I mean, we've touched on this before, but I want to make sure we're being clear when we say this. There are things with you guys write in that we're happy to give our opinions on and we want to, but that are above our pay grade when it's like, we can point you in the direction of what we think is best or what we would do, but also luckily there's a lot of resources specifically when it comes to addiction and things like that. So I'd also say, yeah, definitely being careful about the language you're using so they're not automatically defensive, but then also just looking into resources. There are other people who have people in their life they love that are struggling that have,
yeah, and I think this is sadly more common than not. I think we've all had friends and people in our life that are this person. Anon says, hey besties, please keep me anonymous. Thanks. Anyways, jumping right into it, in beginning of December, I had gotten into a bit of a tiff with my mom. Well, it was more or less she lost her cool on me and proceeded to say she's not yelling, yet voices were raised. She basically called me selfish, self-centered, and made me question everything about myself. To which I cried for literal days and spiraled hard after this. I told her that I've felt like hurting myself from the things that she's done and said to me in the past. Apparently, that shook her to her core to the point of us not really speaking since. Dayna, you were no contact with a parent. How do you manage the guilt, if any? We have been close for the last 10-ish years, but for some reason, I feel like that was all a facade and the veil has lifted. I've come to realize I am not over childhood trauma that she caused me. I don't like how her love feels transactional. To complicate things more, she recently got sick and found out test results, but due to me being so triggered by the outburst, I haven't asked her how she's doing. Am I wrong for not reaching out? The thought of texting her gives me hella anxiety, which doesn't feel great. I guess what I'm asking is, how do I navigate this new chapter of not speaking to her? Is a pause on each other wrong? Am I the asshole? If I were to start speaking to her again, how should I go about it? Side note, thank you both for being the escape from reality. I truly appreciate your comments and advice on everything. You both are seriously awesome and should be proud of the Coven you created. Thank you for standing up and saying the things others are too scared to say. Stay fucking amazing. Signed Anonymous. I think it is tricky and it is challenging being in a new chapter with a family member, especially like your mother, and big life events are happening. I don't think you're being an asshole. I think sometimes taking a pause and a break from somebody is necessary to heal, is necessary to gain perspective, to figure out, take that bird's eye kind of view on things of like maybe places where you went wrong or, she went wrong, and be able to really collect those thoughts and feelings and then present them to them. I think if you are feeling moved to want to reach out because of what's been going on to her, I think you can kind of stick it to that and just say like, you're my mother. I care about you. Your life matters to me. You matter to me. I want to know how you're doing. We don't have to talk about any about that right now, but just kind of keep it specific to that and see what happens from there. But I think establishing what your boundaries are with yourself, first and foremost, will help you navigate that.
Well, I first and foremost just want to validate you that you are the child. Even in an adult dynamic, parent-child dynamic, you're still the child. And I would like to point out that the silent treatment is a mechanism used by an emotionally immature parent. That's textbook, right? She didn't like what you have to say. You were telling her she was hurt. You were hurt by things that she had said, and then she shut down because of that. Textbook. I think that it's different for everyone. So for me, in the last 13 years, I've spoken to my dad for maybe like 5 or 6 of them. So we've gone periods without speaking. And 2 different times he had a really serious health issue that came up, which is why I ended up letting him back in my life. And for me personally, it's a final thing for me now. Like I can't do that again. So I'm not saying that should be your route. I think to Katie's point, you have to go with your gut. It isn't like a copy and paste situation. Everyone is different. Everyone's dynamic is different. I think if you're stressing out about it, you're more than fair to text her, call her, whatever, say, I just want to keep it to this, but I do want to check on you. I love you, whatever. And it can exist in a vacuum. Like it doesn't mean that. And then also she might push past that boundary and try to then open up the can of worms, in which case then you know that it's probably not for you. I would say you just really have to trust your gut. From a guilt perspective, I let go of that a long time ago. And I let go of that by telling myself over and over and over, you are the kid in the situation. And if you put it all out and just look at it, it's pretty black and white as to who's wrong and who's emotionally immature in the situation. So I don't burden myself with that.
Yeah.
I've made the choices that are best for me, and you should as well.
Yeah, I know the guilt. And I've carried guilt as well with things with like my dad, and there's not much to do about it now because he's since passed. But, like I felt like I was protecting my peace by, it wasn't necessarily no contact, but I did have some pretty strong boundaries.
Yeah.
But you have to protect yourself. I don't know. You'll go crazy if you don't.
Right. Anonymous says, "Hey, disrespectfully, Coven. Love the podcast. I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm a 39-year-old married lady. Hubby's 45. We got married in 2023, have been together for 11 years. His friends who are into the swinging scene are throwing a 50th birthday party and we're invited, but I'm not feeling it. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. My husband and I are happy with our monogamous relationship. We're not into sharing, and we'd be the only ones not participating in the festivities. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Thanks bunches, Anonymous. P.S. I quit smoking cigarettes years ago, but recently had a cig at a wedding. It was a Marlboro menthol, and damn, was it smooth. And I'm so happy for you. I could weep. God, a cigarette after a long time of not having cigarettes is just an elite moment. I would say that you probably should skip it. Like if it is an event in which it would feel awkward to be there and not participate, but you guys don't want to participate, if your friends are your friends, which I'm sure they are, just explain that to them. Say, hey, no judgment. Been there, done that. I love a little pineapple situation. It's not where I am today. We're monogamous in our relationship. We want to keep it that way. So we just don't want to, dampen the mood by kind of not participating and being the only one. So just want to let you know, but we would love to send you a cake.
I'm so curious about all this, but
I know I want to know
I'm
more.
not curious in the sense that I want to be, but I'm just like, tell me more. Yeah. I mean, I think it's as simple as like not coming across like being like, oh, like it's like a moral high ground, like we don't do that. I think it's just kind of like, you know what? We love and respect you and want you guys to have your fun. We're just enjoying what we're doing over here. So we're probably going to sit this one out, but like, I hope you have the fucking best time ever.
Absolutely.
Like, you fucking go. And then maybe like, just like, well, let's go grab a drink. So just, I think you can like still have a great friendship with somebody and not be interested in the same things.
Yeah. And even like, I love that it sounds like it was a past life thing for you. So it's just any I think any normal person would understand that if it's just not where you're at right now. And you don't want
If
to.
you have stories from those days, so please send them in.
Unfortunately, we're going to need your
We're
hometown
gonna need
hero.
a little more.
We're going to need you to sit back down and type this out because I do want to hear about it. But yeah, I think they'll totally get it. And it just would be, I think it would be easier to just not be there if you feel uncomfortable.
I can't wait to see the pictures.
Oh
Enjoy.
my God. Tell me all about it.
Amy says, "Hi girls, love and respect the hell out of you. I'd love your advice regarding a coworker of mine. We'll call her Amy. I could talk for hours about my grievances with her." Sorry. I love it. But I'll try to summarize below. She dominates any and all conversations, whether personal or professional. She either has to be the one talking or the conversation has to revolve around her. As a 30-something-year-old, I've literally had to raise my hand in meetings just to get a word in. Relationships are of utmost importance at my company, and it's really hard to build those when I can hardly speak. You would think this would frustrate other people too, but they just feed into it. Ugh. I'm going to look at those people and be like, really?
Yeah.
You're not going to say anything? You're going to let this happen? There's always chaos in her world, the type that demands attention and sympathy. I'm providing a few examples, but to remain anonymous, please don't read these aloud. I could go on and on. Last, and perhaps most upsetting to me, is I value authenticity and I refuse to feed into her antics. But because of that, I'm essentially worthless to her, and she makes that clear. When I walk up to groups at work, she's amongst the group. Everyone will acknowledge me except her. She won't look at me, won't say hi to me. It's as if I don't exist. Funny enough, if I then start a side convo with someone of a higher status within the company, she'll immediately abandon her convo and jump into mine, after I didn't exist to her just 2 seconds prior. I wish this didn't bother me as much as it does, but that degree of exclusion and honestly, disrespect stings. I can't change her behavior, but I also can't seem to get my nervous system to just chill the fuck out when she's around. Do you have any advice for working with a person like this? These people are punishing. They suck the life out of a room. They drain your energy. They drain your attention. I've experienced people like this, but it sounds like she's half giving you a gift because she knows that you ain't the fucking one. So she won't acknowledge you. So I think you just kind of pay her that same mind. And I understand you want to nurture relationships in the workplace. It makes it better for you. But I think this one, you kind of have to cut your loss, take the L on this one, because she wants validation. She wants attention. She wants people to feel bad for her. And you recognize that. So I think you, if anything, if she tries to enter the conversation, you just have to continue to remove yourself from it. Talk about it with your friends, vent to your friends about it. I think that'll help get your frustration out in some way, so that can help regulate you. But I think you maybe are hyper focusing on it. I don't want to make you the victim here, or sorry, make you the villain. But you are hyper fixating on it a little bit because she's sort of the sore spot in your world right now. So it's easy to like make it a problem. But I think you have to learn to ignore her. I don't know how, because it seems that she does again take up a lot of space. Or you call her out on it and you just say, this feels like an inappropriate conversation. It feels like I don't need to know everything about this. I don't think anyone needs to know about this. I don't want to say you embarrass her, but maybe shame her a little bit. Like, let's bring back public shaming.
Well,
like, just saying like, why are you telling everybody about this? This feels like it's a personal problem. Maybe we all don't need to know. I don't want to know about it. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
For anonymity's perspective, we cut out the things that she listed off because we don't want this person to be able to be identified. But just take me and Katie's word for it. The things that you know about this coworker are things that no one should ever know about their coworker in a professional stance. Like, it's really weird to me. So I think that in and of itself, I think people like this, she doesn't talk to you because she knows you have her number. It reminds me of Officer Dokes and Dexter. In Dexter, when Dokes hates Dexter because he knows something is up, but he can't pin it.
Yeah.
She knows that you know that she's full of shit and that other people are feeding into it. So that's why she's trying to ice you out. But people like that cannot stand silence. They cannot stand being ignored. So I think, I mean, if it's me, it's me. So I probably would confront her like privately. So you can, but I don't know that that's going to help in this situation. What I do think will be incredibly effective is icing her out as much as you can. Do not engage. If she's talking to a bunch of people, move away. If she comes up and joins your conversation that you're having with someone else,
walk away.
Either walk away or cut her off and don't let her in the conversation. Like, you can make that uncomfortable. So I think things like that. I also think, unfortunately, sometimes we just have to deal with people we don't want to deal with in a work situation.
Yeah.
So I would say if other people aren't catching on to it, just do your best to ignore her. Don't give it oxygen.
I know it's frustrating to have to be around people that you typically would never choose to be around. And then you're frustrated because you're like, why are you fucking like this? I get that. But like, there's nothing you can do. So I think that first step is accepting that like, that's it. You can't do anything. I'm not saying you have to accept her, but just accept that you cannot change the situation.
And eventually people like that, she's going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person at some point who has a position of authority. So just let her go chat it up. I know, yeah, relationships are important, but you'll form them when you can, when you're able to
They're
have time.
important with the right people. Like, don't give any more energy to this person who doesn't deserve it.
Mm-mm.
Focus on the people that you do enjoy.
It's very weird that we now know these things about her. Me and Katie should also not know that.
I
so
don't need to know any of that.
That's weird. She's a bad egg.
Anyway, hope that helps.
Hope that helps.
Right. Well, if you have hometown hero stories or you want us to help you with a life problem, please write into disrespectfullypod@gmail. We'd love to hear it.
Stay strong. I hope this weekend is great. I hope dinner was great. I hope
Dinner is great.
we'll tell that story one day. Anyway, well, we just love you so much. So until next time.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Babe, you're gonna see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.